Milo popped open the access panel above the royal nursery cribs. Sparks spat from unshielded power splices inches from the nursery's life support conduits. He froze. The wiring hummed with lethal potential. One surge, and the triplets' breathing regulators would fry. Rill, Vess, and Nima lay in their sealed cribs below, tiny feline forms, tails limp, eyes sealed in paralysis. Tubes snaked into their furred chests. Monitors beeped steady rhythms. Milo's gloved hand steadied the panel. These cameras, new installs aimed dead at the cribs, tapped raw station power. No fuses, no shielding. Queen Cyrie's surveillance push, rushed by contractors. He traced the splices. Red insulation peeled back, exposing live feeds twisting too close to the crib's oxygen feeds. A short here would black out the regulators. The heirs wouldn't survive 30 seconds without them. Footsteps echoed down the corridor. Heavy, armored, human. Chief Security Vorka snarled. The enforcer's striped fur bristled, claws extended. Her pistol hummed to life. "Step away! Nursery wing is off limits!" Milo didn't move. He pointed at the sparks. "Bad splices. They'll kill the kids." Vorka's eyes narrowed. She loomed over the ladder. Twice his bulk. "You touch nothing. Queen ordered cameras yesterday. Your clearance ended at the bulkhead. Clearance or not, this shorts the life support." Milo kept his voice level. He unclipped his multi-tool. "Pull me now. You lose the heirs." Vorka grabbed his ladder, shoved it. Milo gripped the panel frame, boots scraping rungs. Alarms blared from the nursery door. Soft cries pierced the hum. Rill's regulator stuttering. Vorka whirled. Her tail lashed. The nursery hatch hissed open. Queen Cyrie strode in, robes swirling. Her golden fur gleamed under the lights, ears pinned back. Dr. Halen Kuro trailed her, scanner in hand. "Mother!" Vorka snapped to attention. Intruder at the cameras. Cyrie's gaze locked on Milo. Piercing green eyes. "The human janitor. Explain." Milo met her stare. "Your new cameras. Power splices unshielded. Touching the crib conduits. Sparks already jumping." Cyrie glided to the cribs. She pressed a paw to Rill's dome. The infant's chest hitched unevenly. "Fix it," Vorka growled. "Mother, he's under guard." Cyrie cut her off. "Vorka, watch him. Doctor." "Kuro, stabilize the heirs." Milo nodded once. He climbed higher, till bit into the wiring. Vorka's pistol tracked his every twist. "Contractors cut corners," he said. "No, interlocks. Station surge hits. This fries everything." Cyrie watched from below. Her tail flicked. "My surveillance protects them. No one enters unseen. Protection shorts out, it's worthless." Milo stripped the bad splice, rerouted power through his spare shielded line. Sparks died. Dr. Kuro adjusted Rill's regulator. Pulse stabilizing, but Vess's oxygen dropping. Milo glanced down. Vess's monitor flashed red. Conduits hummed erratic. "Power bleed," Milo said. "Cameras pulling too much. Diverting now." He yanked the camera feeds. Black screens flickered on the Queen's wrist pad. Cyrie hissed. "You blind my eyes." "Temporary." Milo fused new relays from his kit. Safer blind than dead heirs. Vorka pressed closer. One wrong move. The station lights flickered. A deep thrum shook the deck. Emergency klaxons wailed. "Power surge!" Dr. Kuro yelled. All 3 cribs shrieked, regulators failing. Sairi lunged for the cribs. Claws scraped domes. "My children!" Milo dropped his tool. Ladder rattled as he swung down. Vorka, brace the door. Surge incoming. The enforcer hesitated, then slammed the hatch seals. Milo hit the floor running. He shoved past Dr. Kuro to the main nursery panel. Conduits glowed hot. The splices had arced. Life support lines melting. Triplets offline in 20 seconds, Dr. Kuro said. Her paws flew over manual overrides. Backup failing. Milo ripped the cover. Steam vented, singeing his gloves. He traced the melt. Main feed compromised. Rerouting manual. Sairi cradled Nima's crib. Tears wet her fur. Do it. His hands blurred. Pliers crimped emergency jumpers. He bypassed the splices, linking straight to station auxiliary. Sweat stung his eyes. The hum steadied. Rill gasped. Chest rose even. Vess's monitor greened. Nima's followed. Kuro exhaled. Stable. You jury-rigged a full bypass. Vorka lowered her pistol, stared at the panel. How? No schematics. Seen enough surgers. Milo wiped his hands. Practical fixes first. Sairi straightened. Her ears lifted. She stepped close, scanning his face. You saw the danger before it struck, acted without command. Milo shrugged. Kids needed air. That's the job. She placed a paw on his arm. Warm, steady. Janitor's clean. You protect. Vorka grunted, holstered her weapon. Results speak. Human stays. Dr. Kuro nodded. Heirs owe him. Protocol couldn't match that speed. Sairi turned to the cribs. Rill's tiny paw twitched against the dome. First movement in months. You have my trust, Milo Reyes. Her voice softened. No cameras needed now. Milo packed his tools. The hum settled. Trust. Earned. In sparks. And steady hands. But the station, drum deepened. Another surge built in the vents. He glanced up. That's not over. Sairi followed his gaze. Then lead. The alarms reignited. Deck plates bucked. Milo grabbed his kit. Time to prove it again. Queen Sairi jabbed a claw at the nursery feed. More cameras. Full coverage. Link them to my console only. Milo Reyes crouched by the power panel, multimeter in hand. Wires snaked across the deck like spilled guts. He traced the life support line to the triplets' cribs. Rill, Vess, Nima floated inside. Tiny chests rising in sync with the hum, paralyzed from birth defects. Their world was gel pods and monitors. One flicker, and they suffocated. He nodded without looking up. Adding 4, but grid's hot already. His probe beeped. Voltage dipped. Sag here. Life support walls buckling under load. Sairi's tail lashed. Furred ears flattened. Irrelevant. Install now. My heirs demand vigilance. Dr. Halen Kuro adjusted a drip line. Majesty, the human flag's a real issue. Protocol. Failed. Last cycle. Sairi locked eyes on Milo. You, Janitor. Prove your worth or leave. Milo pulled insulated jumpers from his belt. No time for debate. He pried open the camera junction. Existing feeds pull 20% extra draw. Queen's demand doubled it. One more surge, and the cribs starved for power. Vorka loomed in the hatchway. Her armored bulk blocked escape. Human tampering with royal systems? Sign this. She thrust a tablet. Maintenance waiver. Liability dump. Milo scanned it. Standard station legalese. Or what? Arrest. Deportation. Your kind's expendable. Vorka's grip tightened on her stun baton. He signed with a greasy thumb. Fine. But if this fries, your queen's kids pay. Vorka snarled. Stepped aside. Milo worked fast. Rerouted camera power through an isolated aux line. No crossfeed to life support. He scrolled, "Cam only. No tap," on the circuit label with marker. Stuck it firm. Cyree leaned over his shoulder. Warm breath on his neck. Lock feeds to me. Full-time access. Done. Milo keyed the console. Her private stream lit green. 4 new cams swiveled online. Crib angles, pod seals, vent intakes, crystal feed. He stood, ran a quick load test. Probes danced across breakers. Beep. Cameras stable, but voltage sag confirmed. Life support pulling 110%. Wall conduits overheating. Kuro frowned at her tablet. Triplets O2 at 92%. Marginal. Cyree waved it off. Monitors suffice. Dismissed. Milo packed his kit. Paused at the hatch. Grid hum deepened. Wrong pitch. One more check. Vorka blocked him. Out. Deck lights flickered. Alarms whooped. Low power cascade. Cyree spun. What? Milo shoved past Vorka. Dropped to the panel. Told you. Sag hit critical. Breakers smoked. Life support feed browning out. Reel's monitor flatlined first. Pod fans whirred down. Vess and Nima followed. Gel bubbles slowed. Kuro lunged for manual overrides. Back up, Kenny. It's slagged, Cyree roared. Claws gouged the console. Fix them. Vorka drew her pistol. Aimed at Milo. You caused this. Stand down. Milo yanked panels. Sparks flew. He traced the fault. Camera reroute held, but main grid sagged from overload. Queen's extra feeds tipped it. No schematics. Just scars from 100 station surges. Earthside yards taught him. Bypass. Balance. Brute force if needed. He stripped insulation. Linked jumpers straight to station auxiliary. Fingers danced. Sweat stung his eyes. Secure. Flip breakers. Hum steadied. Reel gasped. Chest rose even. Vess's monitor greened. Nima's followed. Kuro exhaled. Stable. You. Jury rigged to full bypass. Vorka lowered her pistol. Stared at the panel. How? No schematics. Seen enough surges. Milo wiped his hands. Practical fixes first. Cyree straightened. Her ears lifted. She stepped close, scanning his face. You saw the danger before it struck. Acted without command. Milo shrugged. Kids needed air. That's the job. She placed a paw on his arm. Warm. Steady. Janitors clean. You protect. Vorka grunted. Holstered her weapon. Results speak. Human stays. Kuro nodded. Heirs owe him. Protocol couldn't match that speed. Cyree turned to the cribs. Rill's tiny paw twitched against the dome. First movement in months. You have my trust. Milo Reyes. Her voice softened. No cameras needed now. Milo packed his tools. The hum settled. Trust earned in sparks and steady hands. But the station thrum deepened. Another surge built in the vents. He glanced up. That's not over. Sci-Fi followed his gaze. Then lead. Alarms reignited. Deck plates bucked. Milo grabbed his kit. Dropped low as conduits groaned overhead. Vorka sealed the hatch. Containment breach. Power relays frying station-wide. Kuro scoops sensor pads. Triplets can't handle vacuum drop. Sci-Fi cradled the crib controls. Her tail coiled tight. Protect them! Milo! Cracked the vent panel. Hot air blasted his face. Grids cascading. Orcs is next. He probed the main trunk. Melted relays glowed cherry red. No bypass this time. Full reroute needed. Tools. He snapped at Vorka. She tossed a plasma cutter. Handle burned his palm. He sliced conduits clean. Sparks showered. Alien wiring pulsed with biolume. Feline tech. Self-healing but brittle under surge. Sci-Fi watched his hands. Your race engineers this blind? Janitors fix what breaks. Milo spliced human jumpers into the glow veins. Compatible? Test it live. Power surged through. Held. Deck shuddered. Lights dimmed to red. Emergency. Koro strapped into a crash seat. Hull stress at 80%. Evac? No. Sci-Fi gripped Milo's shoulder. Claws pricked but didn't draw blood. He leads. Milo yanked the master panel. Exposed the core regulator. Voltage danced wild. Alien stabilizers overwhelmed by station load. He wedged a stabilizer rod from his kit. Earth alloy, heat sink magic, jammed it home. Circuits balanced, hum evened. Alarms silenced, lights brightened. Vorka scanned her wrist comm. Cascade stopped, relays cooling. Kuro checked the cribs, O2 steady. Vitals green. Paw twitch spreading, rills moving both. Sci-Fi knelt by the dome, pressed her palm to glass. Nima's eyes fluttered open. First time, tears wet her fur. Impossible. Heirs awaken. Milo leaned against the bulkhead. Tools clinked. Just power. They were ready. Vorka crossed her arms. Human. Normalcy. Extraordinary. Sci-Fi rose. Pulled Milo into a formal bow. Queen to protector. Tethvel owes you. Name your boon. He glanced at the cribs. Tiny paws waved. Keep the cams off their pods. Let him breathe. She purred low. Granted, and you remain station's shadow guardian. Kuro smiled faint. Protocol updated. Consult the janitor. Deck hummed true now. But Milo eyed the vents. Faint vibration lingered. Deeper issue. Core reactor. Sci-Fi noticed. Again. He nodded. Lead or follow. Her paw squeezed his arm. Together. Vorka unlocked the hatch. Perimeter secure. For now. They stepped into the corridor. Sparks popped distant. Another test coming. Milo tightened his grip on the kit. Quiet hands built more than empires. Station groaned. Lights flickered once more. He moved first. Milo slammed his palm against the corridor panel. Sparks showered his coveralls. The station groaned deeper this time, a subharmonic rattle from the core vents. He froze. A faint chirp cut through the noise, high-pitched, erratic, from the vent stack above the nursery wing. Toolkit clanked as he boosted himself up. Fingers hooked the grate. One twist, and it dropped into his hand. Cool air rushed out, laced with ozone. Chirp again. Weaker. He shone his headlamp inside. Dust motes swirled. The duct angled toward the service crawl space. Milo dropped his kit through first, then wedged shoulders in. Fabric scraped metal. He crawled, knees grinding grit. Chirp grew louder. Backup battery pack, failing fast. Station protocol demanded isolation, but that pack powered the incubator redundance. Light ahead. He kicked the access hatch. It swung open, into the nursery service crawl space. Humid air hit him. Coolant mist beaded on his skin. He swung down, boots thudded on grating. Mist curled from the incubator manifold. Fine nozzles clogged, pressure spiking. The Triplets' pods drew power through here. One leak, and paralysis meds vaporized. Milo yanked his sealant gun, but the manifold hatch locked tight. Beyond it, the nursery proper. He pounded the med door, release. It hissed open an inch. Doctor. Helen Kuro's striped face filled the gap. Her ears flattened. Human. No clearance. Out. Dock. Coolant breach. Manifolds flooding the pods. Her claws scraped the frame. Protocol. Queen Cyrie's surveillance grid scans all entries. You trip it. Lockdown triggers. Chirp turned to whine behind him. Battery pack indicator blinked red in his lamp beam. Triplets need this fixed now. Milo held up the sealant. 30 seconds. Kuro's eyes darted past him. Monitors glowed through the door slit. Rill, Vess, Nima. Tiny forms under domes, tails limp. Negative. Security pinged. She slammed the panel. Door sealed. Milo cursed. Dove back into the crawl space. Whine peaked. Battery pack casing split. Acidic ooze bubbled. He jammed a heat sink from his kit. Earth alloy, forged tough, twisted it into the terminals. Sparks bit his glove. Circuits balanced. Wine dropped to whom? But mist thickened. Manifold pressure redlined. He traced the line. Extra cabling snaked through the walls. Queen surveillance. Hidden cams. Motion sensors. Layered thick around the nursery. Her control web. Monitoring every breath of her airs. Overload. The grid pulled too much juice. Starved the coolant pumps. Backfired hard. Alarms blared station-wide. Nursery monitors spiked. Heart rates jagged. O2 plummeting. Bulkhead slammed. Autoseal engaged. The wing locked down. No entry from corridors. Vents clamped shut behind him. Milo was the only one inside the walls. He ripped the manifold panel. Coolant sprayed his face, eyes stinging. Triplets' paralysis locked their muscles. One temp spike. Neural damage permanent. Tools flew. He bypassed the surveillance taps first. Snipped the extra lines. Sparks popped. Grid flickered offline. Queen's voice boomed over intercom. Breach. Hair's compromised. Vorka purged the vents. Chief Security Vorka's growl followed. Human in the stack. Terminate. Milo ignored it. Sealant gun hissed into nozzles. Mist slowed. But manifold core overheated incubators drawing emergency power. He yanked the failing relay. Exposed wires danced, grabbed his multi-tool. Earth alloy clamp, jammed it home. Heat bled off. Circuits steadied, pod feeds normalized. But Nima's vitals dipped lowest, lungs seizing. Milo crawled deeper, service tube to the cribs, grating over Nima's dome. He pried it loose, dropped prone. Palm pressed the access port. Inside, injectors primed. He overrode manual, boosted paralysis antagonist. Tiny paw twitched. Real invest next. Same drill. Clamp, seal, balance. Alarms silenced. Lights brightened. Med door pounded outside. Kuro's voice. Human. Status. In the wall. Milo wiped sweat. Grid offline. Manifold sealed. Vitals stabilizing. Rill's paw. Both now. Bulkhead hissed. Seal released. Volker burst in first. Stunner raised. Fur bristled. Scanned the crawlspace hatch. Milo emerged. Tools clinking. Coolant dripped from his sleeves. Vorka leveled the weapon. Explain. Surveillance overload. Queen's cams starved the pumps. Cyrus swept in behind. Feline eyes wide, tail lashing. She knelt by Nima's dome. Paw to glass. Infant eyes fluttered. First time ever. Kuro checked readouts. Oh, too steady. Neural activity up 40%. Impossible recovery curve. Cyrus rose slow. Pulled Milo into Bow Queen to protect her. Tethel owes you. Name Boone. He glanced at Cribs. Tiny paws waved. Keep cams off pods. Let him breathe. She purred. Granted, you remain Shadow Guardian. Vorka holstered stunner, crossed arms, human normalcy. Extraordinary. Deck hummed true. Milo eyed vents. Vibration lingered, deeper. But Cyrus squeezed his arm. Together, he nodded. Kit, ready. Corridor lights flickered distant. Sparks again. Milo moved first. The station core thrummed uneven now. Milo led the group down the access tube, Cyrus close behind. Her paw brushed his shoulder. Trust sealed in touch. Vorka flanked, scanner sweeping. Kuro trailed. Datapad logging. Chirp echoed again. Not battery. Deeper stack. Pulled reactor feeds. Milo dropped to one knee. Pressed ear to grate. Harmonic fault. Core relays cascading. Cyrus hissed. Air's wing draws priority power. If core fails, worse than missed. He popped the grate. Boosted in. Stay. I'll trace. Vorka growled. Alone? Threat. Fastest. Milo vanished into dark. Ducts narrowed. Elbows scraped. Vibration shook his teeth. Lamp caught it. Relay cluster. Arcing blue. Surveillance ghost lines here, too. Queen's web extended deep. Overloaded backup station-wide. He sliced them clean. Sparks died. But main relay warped alien alloy, brittle under stress. Earth wrench. Twisted new. Balanced load. Hum eaved, but a new whine. Auxiliary coolant to the Queen's chambers. Milo cursed. Backtracked fast. Emerged. Sweating. Group waited tense. Core stable. But your quarters. Coolant. Reroute failing. Cyrus stiffened. My vigil pod. Proceed. They ran. Vorka cleared path. Doors hissed. In her chambers, mist poured. Queen's personal incubator. Backup for heirs if nursery fell. Milo dove under console. Lines tangled. Surveillance nodes everywhere. Queen, your grid. It monitors airs 24. Pulled all reserves. She crouched beside. Protection demands sight. Backfired. He snipped, sealed. Trust competence over eyes. Pod stabilized. Lights green. Kuro nodded. Protocol update. Janitor first. Vorka grunted. Proven. Siri purred deep. Pulled in close. Shadow guardian. Family now. Milo glanced back. Triplets safe. Station hummed. But core vent popped faint spark, lingering flaw. He gripped Kit. Quiet hands fixed more than Queens dreamed, Siri noticed. Again, together they moved as one. Deeper corridors beckoned. Sparks danced ahead. Milo traced the hum. Vent stack branched to engineering bay. Chirp multiplied. 3 packs failing in sync. Triplets' remote monitors pinged on his wristcom. Kuro's override. Vitals dipped slight. They're linked. He'd boosted into stack. Core bleed affecting pods. Siri followed. This time Milo hauled himself into the vent stack. Toolkit scraping metal rungs. Sparks popped ahead. Blue-white against the dim glow tubes. His wristcom chirped. Rill's heart rate dipping. Vess's oxygen saturation flickering red. Nima's temp spiked. Linked overload, he muttered. Cameras draining everything. Queen Siri squeezed in behind, her furred shoulders brushing his boots. Claws clicked on alloy. The nursery feeds from this bay. My eyes on them, every breath. He twisted forward, flashlight beam cutting steam. Wine pitched higher, junction box ahead. Surveillance nodes clustered like glowing eyes. 20 feeds pulsing hungry. They sucked power from the incubator circuits. Triplets' pods starved. Milo yanked his wire cutters, killing the camera bank first. Snip. Sparks flew. Nodes winked out, one by one. Silence dropped. His wristcom steadied. Vitals flatlined the slide. Rill's pulse evened. Vess breathed. Steady. Nima's temp held. Siri hissed. My vigil stabilized them. He didn't look back. Eyes won't save them now. Coolant hissed next. Green fluid spraying the stack. Line ruptured. Warped alloy split from core bleed. Heat baked his coveralls. Triplets' pods would boil without it. Milo slapped a compression sleeve over the breach. Earth alloy. Flexible under pressure. He ratcheted clamps tight with his wrench. His died. Fluid pressure evened. Patched. She purred low, tense. You move like you built this station. Fix what's broke. He crawled on. Manual vent sealed ahead. Butterfly valve jammed. Incubator temps crept up again. 98. 99. Danger zone for Tethvel kits. Prybar wedged in. He talked. Seals popped. Hot air whooshed out, dumping into the bay exhaust. Temps halted. Wristcom green across the board. Siri pressed close, breath warm on his neck. They live because of you. Station lives. He dropped from the stack into the engineering bay. Consoles flickered. Vorka loomed at the nursery bulkhead, rifles slung. Dr. Kuro beside with a med scanner. Vorka blocked the door. Human. Clearance denied. Queen's protocol. Siri emerged, fur matted with grime. She straightened, tail lashing. Override. Vorka. Stand down. Milo enters the nursery. Now. Vorka's ears flattened. Majesty. He's maintenance. Unvetted, proven. Her voice cracked like thunder. He saved my heirs twice while you guarded doors. Vorka stepped aside, grunt reluctant. Door hissed open. Milo strode in. Nursery hummed soft. 3 crystal pods glowed under biolume strips. Rill, Vess, Nema floated inside, tiny limbs splayed in paralysis gel, tails curled fetal. Monitors beeped steady now, but coolant mist thinned. Backup lines trembled. Kuro rushed to the master console. Power routed clean, but thermal cascade lingering. Pods at limit. Milo scanned. Feed lines tangled under the floor grate. Surveillance relays still leaching, even dark. Queen's grid backfed here. He dropped to knees, popped the grate. Wires snaked, nodes embedded. Siri knelt beside him, claws hovering. I installed them myself, for their safety. Overloaded the works. He traced the bundle. Main incubator circuit starved. Rerouted to her cams. Snip. Cut the fat lines. Power surged back. Pods brightened. Mist thickened. Kuro's scanner pinged. Temps dropping. Vitals optimal. Vorka crossed arms at the door. How? Schematics locked. Follow the hum. Milo sealed the exposed wires with conduit tape. Practical fixes. Rill stirred in her pod, paw twitching first time Milo watched. Vess's eyes cracked open, golden slits focusing. Nema mewled soft. Siri's breath caught. She pressed a palm to Rill's pod. They respond. Milo stood, wiping hands. Gel stabilizing them. But paralysis root station flux? Kuro nodded. Neurotoxin from birth nebula. Pods compensate, until now. One pod then sputtered. Nema's. Fine mist clogged. Milo grabbed his kit. Aerosol canister, wrong pressure. He swapped regulators, bled the line. Vent cleared. Mima settled. Siri watched every move. Her tail brushed his leg, deliberate. You see what protocols miss. People first. He checked Vess's feed. Oxygen mix off by 2%. Tweaked the valve. Steady. Vorka leaned in. Human tools. Crude. Work. Milo didn't rise to it. Alarms blared station-wide. Core tremor. Aftershock from the bleed. Pods rocked. Rill's monitor spiked. Brace. Milo lunged for the stabilizer clamps. Manual overrides under each pod. He locked them down. 1, 2, 3. Quake passed. Pods secure. Kuro exhaled. Lost them without that. Siri pulled Milo back from the pods. Her arms wrapped him. Strong, warm fur against his chest. Purr rumbled deep. Shadow Guardian, you protect what I cannot see. He patted her shoulder. Awkward. Team effort. Vorka holstered his rifle. Results speak. Standing orders. Janitor leads repairs. Shari released him. Eyes locked. Stay. For them. For us. Milo nodded. Wristcom buzzed. Kuro's patch. Full vitals streamed. Staple. But a subharmonic whined faint from the walls. Deeper floor. Engineering core? Not done. He gripped his wrench. One more fix. She matched his stride. Together. They pushed into the corridor. Sparks danced ahead again. Nursery door sealed behind. Vorka and Kuro on guard. Siri's paw gripped his arm. Trust sealed in grip. Milo traced the new hum to a service ladder. Down to sub-levels. Core relays. If they fail, pods next. She climbed after. Live despite her frame. Lead. Ladder groaned under weight. Glow tubes flickered. At bottom a sealed hatch. Emergency seal. Red locked. His multi-tool buzzed it open. Steam blasted. Relay bank smoked. 3-pack synced failure. Just like the chirps. Triplets backups. Milo dove in. Overheat chain. He yanked panels. Fins warped. Compression sleeve again. Clamped fins tight. Wrench spun. Coolant rerouted manual. Sari handed tools without ask. Your ways. Efficient. Earth stubborn. Smoke cleared. Relays hummed even. But her calm crackled. Vorka's voice. Majesty. Intruder alert. Bay 7. Human signature. Milo froze. His signature? No. Sari's claws dug in. False. Milo's here. Multiple pings. Vorka tense. Milo checked his wrist comm. Shadow trace. Someone spoofed his ID. Sabotage. Someone's in the vents. He bolted up the ladder, targeting the core. Sari sprinted beside. Protect the heirs. Corridors blurred. Alarms wailed. Trust forged in crisis. Now tested by shadows. Milo gripped his cutters. Time to cut deeper. Milo slammed the cutters into the vent grate. Metal sheared with a screech. He dropped inside. Flashlight beams slicing steam clouds. Sari bolted after, claws scraping rungs. Vents lead to core override. Cut the spoof signal there. Alarms pulsed red. His wrist comm pinged shadows. 3 false Milos ghosting the grid. Saboteur jammed the system, masking real moves. They hit the nursery feeds next, Milo growled. Isolate the heirs. Sari nodded, eyes fierce. My techs swore the camera's secure. Proof otherwise. They crawled fast. Conduits hummed hot under palms. A junction box sparked ahead. Tampered. Milo pried it open. Wires tangled wrong. A fresh splice diverting power. Amateur. Drains the incubators. He snipped the fake line. Ghosts flickered on his comm. 2 down. 1 lingered near the nursery. It's rerouting life support. Pods fail in minutes. Sari hissed. Vorka. Status. Her comm crackled. Nursery sealed, Majesty. Kuro stabilizes the triplets, but feeds glitch. Shadows everywhere. Milo yanked a portable scanner from his belt. Feed me the camera logs. I'll trace. Vorka barked back. Human clearance denied. Do it. Sari snapped. Or heirs die. Silence. Then data flooded Milo's wrist screen. Nursery cams. Queen's eyes, installed to watch every twitch of her paralyzed young. Ryu, Vess, Nima floated in gel pods, tiny chests heaving on ventilators. But angles wrong. Lenses aimed at faces, missing ports and valves. Idiots, Milo muttered. He patched a remote tweak. Lenses whirred, repositioning. Now they framed incubator ports, seals bulging and emergency valves, needles dropping red. Sari leaned close. You redirect my surveillance? Saves it. Screen sharpened. A hairline crack wept fluid from pod 3. Nima's. Valve stuck half open. Overpressure. Fix now. He relayed cords to Kuro. Dock valve bank C, pod 3. Bleed manual. Kuro's voice cut in. Protocol blocks access. Security lock. Milo slapped a taped maintenance map from his pocket. Station guts he'd sketched months back. Shortcuts no one used. Sent Bypass via subpanel 7B. Faster route. Data pinged receipt. Pause. Human. This uncharted. Trust it. Milo eyed Sayuri. She nodded. Kuro grunted. Moving. Back at nursery, Vorka hunched over consoles. Feed stabilized. Milo's tweak. She scrubbed footage, claws tapping fast. Shadows peeled back. No intruder, just echoes. Then, a glitch in old logs. Pre-crisis. Original contractor feed. Vorka zoomed. Illegal splice. Bay 7. Junction. Bypassed safeties for quick install. Weak point. Her eyes narrowed. Human signature spoofed the breach. Saboteur exploited the flaw. Majesty. Vorka growled into cum. Not janitor. Contractor ghost. Footage proves. Sayuri paused mid-crawl for bristling. Court techs cleared them. Compromised. Audit now. Milo sealed the junction. Last ghost vanished. Core safe. Ratio. They burst from vents into main corridor. Nursery doors ahead. Vorka yanked them wide. Kuro knelt by pod 3, wrench in claw, map taped to her knee. Valve spun free. Fluid pressure equalized. Nima's vitals beeped steady. Rill and Vest synced behind her. Sparks died. Dr. Kuro rose, wiped gel from fur. Human map saved seconds. Protocol failed. Your path worked. Vorka crossed arms. Footage cleared you, Janitor. But explain the cameras. Milo shrugged. Cutters dangling. Queen's eyes watched faces. I aimed at fixes. Ports showed the crack. Valves screamed trouble. Sayuri swept in, tail lashing. She scooped Nima's pod viewer close, paw trembling on glass. Triplet blinked. First unassisted twitch in months. You turned my control to salvation. Milo knelt level with the pods. Control blinds. Competence sees. Vorka snorted. Underestimated you. Sayuri waved her off. Summon the cortex. All of them. Minutes later, chamber filled. Tex fidgeted under her glare. Feline features pinched. Hollow projected. Splice footage. Contractor stamp glowing guilty. You vouched, Sayuri thundered. Weakness in my heir's cradle. Audit every system. Purge the rot. Tex bowed. Scrambling. One dared speak. Majesty, the human proved worth. Sayuri turned to Milo. Your tools. Your eyes. Stay. He nodded. No boast. Just wiped cutters clean. Kuro approached, map in claw. Teach this routing. Protocol evolves. Deal. Milo grinned faint. Vorka lingered, scanner in paw. Signature. Clean. Now. Det nodded. Sayuri pulled him aside, voice low. My surveillance tracked me. You freed us. Team did. He glanced pods. Triplets calm, breaths even. Her paw gripped his arm again. Firmer. No team without you. Alarm silenced. Station hummed true, but Milo's scanner pinged faint. A deeper relay glitch. Subcore buried. Not fixed. Growing. He pocketed it. Later. Heirs first. Sayuri watched him work a final pod check, claws sheathed. Trust bloomed quiet, earned in sparks and saves. Deep in sublevels, that glitch pulsed. Someone watched back. Milo's scanner screamed. Sparks erupted from the subcore relay. He yanked the access panel shut just as the lights guttered out. A rolling brownout cascaded through the royal wing panels. dimming in sequence, like dominoes programmed to fall. Alarms howled. Red strobes painted the corridors. He sprinted. Boots pounded grated floors. The nursery. Triplets first. Queen Cyrie's voice boomed over comms. Containment! Vodka! Seal the wing! Milo ignored it. He veered into maintenance bays. Grabbed the portable generator cart by its tow bar. 2 tons of humming diesel beast. He dragged it. Muscles straining, wheels screeching against bulkheads. Sweat beaded his brow. No time for elevators. Stairs to the royal deck. Vorka's enforcers barreled past, claws drawn, rifles hot. One shoved him. Human. Out! Need this in nursery, Milo barked. He planted feet. Cart wedged the corridor. Move or lose the heirs. The security chief loomed, fangs bared. Vorka, you sabotage your own fix? Glitch is live. Running now. Milo pointed at his scanner. Traces glowed. Deliberate overload cascade. Sabotage routine. Nested deeper. Help or watch pods fry. Vorka snarled. Signaled her team. They hauled with him. Cart lurched forward. Nursery doors hissed open. Chaos reigned. Life support pods flickered. Amber warnings pulsing. Rill, Vess, Nima floated inside. Tiny feline forms paralyzed in gel suspension. Tails limp. Breaths shallow. Doctor. Kuro clawed at consoles. Tail lashing. Overload. Coolant pumps dead. Queen Cyrus stood at the central dais. Her fur bristled. Golden eyes wide. Surveillance holos. Her web of eyes everywhere. Crackled static. Cameras fried first. Her control grid backfiring. Milo rammed the cart into position. Unreeled heavy cables. Kuro! Pod port's main bus. The doctor pivoted. Claws extended diagnostic probes. Human power? Incompatible! Hard link it. Milo stripped insulation with cutters. Sparks flew. He jammed prongs into the royal-grade sockets. Adapters improvised from his belt kit. Generator roared to life. Pods stabilized. Greens flickered on. But heat-built vents wheezed. Coolant lines starved without station pumps. Cyri whirled. Evacuate the heirs! No time. Milo scanned readouts. Over-temp climbing. Manual bypass. Coolant reserve tanks. Bucketed in. Vorka growled. Insane. Human insane works. Milo pointed. Security. Form chain. Canisters from sub-storage to here. Vorka, you lead. Kuro, prime the fill valves. Her team hesitated. Claws flexed. Cyri stepped forward. Mane flared. Do it. He saved them once. Again. Vorka nodded sharp. Enforcers dashed. Milo directed. Positions marked on deck plates. First grabbed canisters, heavy cryo units sloshing blue fluid. Passed hand to claw. Chain formed, splashes echoed. Efficient rhythm kicked in. Milo dove under the central manifold. Wrenches spun. Exposed the emergency intake. Valves gummed Queen. Hold this open. Full force. Cyri blinked. Royal pause. Never dirtied. But she knelt. Fur brushed his arm. Claws gripped the manual lever. Muscles corded under spotted pelt. She heaved. Valve ground open. Hiss of pressure. Coolant flooded. Chain poured canisters. Blue torrents cascaded into the manifold. Pods hissed steam. Temps plummeted. Kuro monitored. Stabilizing. Rill's vitals. Green. Vess. Nima holding. Minutes stretched. Chain past 50 canisters. Arms burned. Sweat slicked fur and skin alike. Vorka grunted mid-pass. Your bucket chain. Primitive. Perfect. Milo nodded, no smile, focused on seals. Tightened last fitting. Syri held steady. Paw trembled now, but locked. Eyes met his over the valve. No words. Trust in the grip. Brownout peaked. Wing plunged dark. Generator chugged alone. Pods glued. Steady. Final canister emptied. Kuro slammed the intake shut. Secure. Syri released the valve. Claws retracted. She rose, fur matted, breathing hard. Touched a pod. Nima's. Tiny chest rose even. Milo wiped his hands. Scanner pinged. Sabotage. Routine burned out. Relay safe. For now. Vorka clapped his shoulder. Hard. Janitor. You run my wing better than I do. Team. Milo glanced the chain. Enforcers panted but grinned. Fang sharp. Kuro approached. Protocol update. Human overrides authorized. Syri turned to Milo, voice low, throaty. My eyes, surveillance, failed first. Blinded me. You saw. Tools do. He checked pod seals. Gentle pats on glass. Triplets stirred faint. She gripped his arm. Firmer than before. Tail brushed his leg. Protective curl. Stay. Eyes open. He nodded. No boast. Doors burst. Cortex flooded in. Tools gleaming. Syri spun on them. Trace the source. This ends. Tex bowed. Scanner's word. Milo stepped back. Work done. But his pocket scanner vibrated. Deeper ping. Subcore shadow trace. Not alone. Someone triggered it remote. He pocketed it deeper. Hairs breathed. Queen watched him, not them. Trust sealed in coolant and sweat. But the shadow watched back. Relay ghosted a signal. Outbound. To who? Milo's jaw set. Next fix. Hunt the hunter. Syri caught his glance. What now? More rot. He pulled the scanner. Shared the trace. Together? Her paw stayed on his arm. Together. Vorka overheard. Rifle slung. My team. Your lead. Kuro nodded. Pods hold. Go. Chain reformed. Not for coolant. For the hunt. Station hummed fragile. But unbreakable now. Deep in vents. A lens glinted. Saboteur fled. Milo smelled the ozone trail. They pursued. Queen's eyes narrowed. Feline hunter awakened. Beside the human. No surveillance needed. Competence lit the way. But the signal bounced. Off station. Fleet. Incoming? Milo's generator purred. Ready for war. Syri whispered. You turned crisis to shield. Quiet work. He checked the pods one last time. Real's eye cracked open. Piney, trusting. Her paw squeezed. Trust bloomed. Shadow fled faster. Milo crouched in the vent shaft, scanner beeping sharp. Ozone stung his nose. Fresh sabotage trail. He crawled faster, toolkit clanking against his belt. The signal pulsed ahead, bouncing off a service node deep in the station's guts. Got you, he muttered. His gloved hand punched through a grate. Wires sparked. He yanked the control board free, crushing the remote relay under his boot. Silence dropped. No more ghost signals. Walker loomed behind him, rifle sweeping shadows. Human. Explain. Milo held up the board, circuits fried black. Saboteur's remote trigger marked my coolant lines earlier. Same etch pattern. He pointed to faint scratches, his own Sharpie label smeared but intact. That tech in sublevel 3. He bypassed them. Volker's eyes narrowed, feline slits gleaming. Proof. Milo tapped the board's edge. Serial matches his shift logs. I labeled every node after the breach. Vorka snarled into her comm. Team to sub 3. Detain technician lore. Armed. Boots thundered away. She glanced back. You hunt like prey scent. Not bad, Janitor. Milo wiped sweat. Just follows the rot. He pocketed the board. Scanner clear now. But Air's pods waited. No time. They burst into the nursery corridor. Queen Siri paced, paws clenched. Doctor. Kuro monitored vitals. Pods humming steady. Ril, Vez, Nima floated inside, tiny chests rising. Siri whirled. The signal? Dead. Milo held up the board. Remote from one of your techs. Vorka's cuffing him. Her tail lashed. Surveillance caught nothing. My eyes failed. She eyed the camera domes overhead, lenses dark from his earlier blackout. You blinded them. Why trust now? Milo met her gaze. Calm. Cameras glitch in crisis. Hands don't. He nodded to the pods. One board fries. They flatline. Need direct access. No locks. Siri hesitated. Claws flexed. Protocol screened against it. A human janitor. Low caste. Touching royal airs. But pods beeped steady. Because of him. Coolant flowed. Her pups breathed. She slapped the override panel. Locks hissed open. Emergency access. Yours. No surveillance. In nursery. Ever. Kuro's fur bristled. Queen. Done. Sari stepped aside. Prove it worthy, human. Milo moved. Goal. Secure the airs without Big Brother eyes. He cracked the main panel, wires neat from his fixes. Pull the motion sensor from his kit. Basic, station surplus. No vid feed. Just ping. Conflict hit fast. The relay flickered. Residual sabotage. Echo. Pod alarms twitched. Rill's vitals dipped. Pressure drop. Kuro barked. Stabilize! Milo's hands flew. He bypassed the glitch, soldering a shunt. Sensor wired to staff comms only. Nurses dock. Queen. No logs. No leaks. Alarm live. Motion trips its staff runs. No filming. Siri leaned close, breath warm on his neck. Feline scent. Sharp herbs. Simple. No Empire tech. Simple works. He tested it, wave hand. Comm buzz Kuro's belt. Clear. Ping. Pods. Stable. Volker stormed back, dragging a shackled tech. Lore spat. Curses. Fur matted. False! Human lies! Milo pointed. Check his tool pouch. My label etcher. Volker ripped it open. Exact match. She cuffed him tighter. To Brig. Interrogate. Lore snarled. Queen spies everywhere. He tampered. Siri silenced him with a glare. My spies failed. This human didn't. She turned to Milo. Interrogate with you? Milo nodded. No circuits. He does too. They hauled Lore to Security Bay. Vorka strapped him down. Scanner hummed. Talk, Siri hissed. Lore laughed. Fleet knows you're weak airs. Paralyzed pups. Easy target. Signal called them. Milo's jaw tightened. Off-station bounce. Incoming. Codes. Vorka pressed. Lore smirked. Burn with us. Milo spotted it, a hidden fob in Lore's collar. He snatched it, cracked the case. Fleet Freak locked. Jammer ready. He pulled his generator from the corridor stash. Vorka grunted approval. Yours? Quiet work. He sanked it. Jam pulsed. Fleet signal dead. Siri watched, eyes wide. You anticipated. Rot spreads. Milo checked nursery feed on his scanner. Pod screen. Rill's paw twitched. Reaching. Back in nursery. Coral fust. Vitals peak. Your shunt held. Siri knelt by Rill's pod. Glass fogged with baby breath. No cameras. Yet they thrive. Milo built on. Added redundant power taps. His multi-tool whirring. Backup flows here, he pointed. One fails. This kicks. Kuro traced the lines. Alien design. No human improv. Elegant. Vorka holstered her rifle. Janitor leads hunts now? Siri rose. Paw on Milo's shoulder. Firm. He leads protection. Her voice softened. Triplets sense it. Watch. Vess's eye fluttered open. Tiny mule through the pod speaker. Mima's tail flicked. Trusting. Milo smiled faint. Quiet competence. But alarms blared station-wide. Docking clamps groaned. Fleet probes incoming. Lore's call answered. Siri tensed. War? Milo checked his generator. Purr strong. Shields up. They knock first. Vorka rallied guards. Positions. Kuro sealed pods. Air secure. Siri gripped Milo's arm. Together, he nodded. Rewired your world. Hold it! Probes thudded hull. Station shook. But nursery hummed. No surveillance. Just trust earned. In wires and sweat. Milo dashed to Corbent's. Scanner pinged new rot probe hack attempt. He yanked panels, hands steady. Sari followed. Claws out. Feline grace met human grit. Here, he said. Board sparked. Sabotage route. She smashed it for my pups. Fleet con crackled. Demands. Vorka broadcast. Stand down. Traitor caught. Silence. Probes retreated. Siri exhaled. You turned hunters to hunted. Milo wiped hands. Practical. In nursery, real cooed. Paw pressed glass toward him. Queen smiled. First time raw. No eyes needed. You see them? Trust sealed. Not in thrones. In Janitor's toolkit. But deep gore. One light blinked. Deeper shadow. Milo smelled ozone again. Hunt unfinished. Siri caught it. More. Always. He pulled scanner. Together. Her paw stayed. Chain unbreakable. Pods purred. Airs dreamed safe. Human shadow guarded feline light. Station held. Fleet turned away. Quiet. Work. One. Yet scanner whispered. Off-station ally. Milo's generator hummed. Ready. Mix crisis brewed. Rill's eye met his through glass. Tiny trust. Big shield.